versus NPCs. First, we're gonna start off with source players. Source player, when we say chosen ones, we say they say so-called quote unquote guys chosen. I don't really like saying guys chosen, but source chosen are the souls that come down here that inhabit these humanoid vehicles that have a sole purpose to come down here and do certain duties. We all have different missions, but we all come from the same source. The source is the grand creator of the multiverse or the universe. Trillions of souls come from source, but are dispersed throughout the multiverse to different galaxies and different star systems, and we inhabit these different planets to do different missions. But this planet Tiamat, planet Kai, has source players and NPCs, and it has soulless entities here. You have sentient programs, you have Helix, you have Wheats, and you have Turs. So the source players can't fit in nowhere. Source players always end up being the black sheep of their families. Source players can't fit in nowhere. You can't fit in nowhere even if you tried. If you tried to go hang in with your family that's full of quote unquote NPCs, helix, or zombies, you would not be able to fit in. You felt it at an early age of loneliness of even though you in a realm full of billions of different avatars inside of meat suits, most likely you were surrounded by NPCs your whole life. So this is why you always felt this loneliness of being here. Like, dang, I can't make no friends here. Even in your own family, you feel like a stranger. You feel like you can't fit in with no one. You feel like no one understands you or gets you. If you try to have a conversation, being a source player or a main player here, it gets automatically ridiculed. You automatically get reprimanded. You automatically get called crazy. So this is the feeling that most black sheep or source players have being here. A feeling of loneliness, a feeling of not even if you had the material, like you never really chased the physical mundane material lifestyle. And if you did do that, you might have did that at a small proportion of your life just to be able to fit in with your immediate family or to fit in with today's normal standards in the society. NPC on the other hand is a soulless being. Is an organic portal that can be they can have their human vehicle taken a hold of at any time by outside entities. An NPC or a soulless one can only regurgitate and can regurgitate and carry out his matrix duties. Then you have high function in NPCs too. These are the ones that get the high paying jobs. These are the ones that be working in these side of these skyscrapers. They showed us that in the movie Matrix. The movie Matrix has a Gnostics teaching to it. It has an esoteric teaching to the movie Matrix. The movie Matrix is like a blueprint on today's on being a source player and being an NPC because they showed you the NPC is NPC is everybody but nobody in the same breath. If that makes sense. So you might got 10,000 NPCs, but you might have two real source players over here. And these 10,000 NPCs, they regress. I'm saying they stuck in a constant loop. They drink beer, they work, they watch sports, they sleep, they do the same thing over again. It's like their life is in constant it's the epitome, the embodiment of a reap of a show, of a Truman Show that's just constantly in a perpetual state of just the same thing occurring over and over. Their verbiage, their diction, when you having vocabulary, when you having a dialogue with one of these NPCs, it's best that you just talk about the things that they can talk about and you keep it moving. Because as soon as you go outside of the normal, NPC can start to glitch it sometimes. Them glitching is them NPC glitching can be them getting agitated or being unhinged when a source player comes around. Just your light alone offends them. They get offended by everything. NPCs they support all of the things that are propagated by mainstream media. All of the staged wars, all of the staged events on the world, staged events that are propagated by this evil draconian overlay in the shadow government. They they're heavily influenced, like I said. by everything around them and their surroundings. They have no connection to higher self because most of them, that's what I'm saying, they don't have souls. They just operate on on a tandem frequency with this physical mundane reality, as opposed to a source player or a black sheep, whatever you want to call us. We operate on a spiritual, from a spiritual aspect. Even if you just coming into consciousness, that's your higher self. That's a personification that you have a higher self. If you in any type of consciousness, uh, that's a personification that you have a soul, that you have a higher self, because it's your higher self working in tandem with your lower self, waking your lower, tapping your lower self on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, it's time to wake up." As opposed to an NPC, they follow all religions, and I've stated this on multiple times on this channel. They follow religion, they worship money, they worship physical, mundane material. They work. They all hang out in big crowds together. That's what I'm saying. Majority of the time, if you a source player, you're gonna find yourself alone majority of the time. By and you can actually see beyond the 10% light code lockdown spectrum here, as opposed to an NPC. They can't see past the the uh the propaganda being spewed to them on the television. They can't see past the propaganda that the reverend in that church is indoctrinating them with. They can't see past the illusions of everything here. As opposed to a source player, they can see everything playing out in real time. Most of us are prophetic. Most of us can see into the future. Most of us have superpowers. And I believe being woke is a superpower. It's one of our spiritual gifts of being source players, because everybody don't have the spiritual discernment that we have. That's what Dick Gregory said. Once the universe gives you this discernment, these glasses, you can't take them off. This is what they showed you in the movie They Live. The movie They Live was giving us a deeper esoteric uh intellectual vision of what we are. So they were showing us it's only many will be, it's a only many will be called, but only a certain few gonna answer that phone call. So only a few of us have the spiritual discernment. On the other hand, we're surrounded by millions. I'm saying millions of NPCs, millions of helix, millions of terrorists, millions of soulless entities, millions of organic portals that have no deeper understanding, no overstanding on thyself. When they think of thyself, it's on the outside. It's exoteric. Exoteric is anything outside of yourself. Esoteric is going within. So I'm saying, majority of the walking, talking dead, you can say are sheep. And I'm not trying to sound malice when I say these things. And just this, I got to get my point across this way. So that's the embodiment, like I said, of a source player, is that you never fit in nowhere. Your whole life, you had like when Neo in the Matrix. Neo knew something was wrong his whole life, but he couldn't grasp it, because that was his higher self trying to reach him, telling him. You can say Morpheus was Neo's higher self, his higher conscious, coming to wake him back up, because Neo always knew, like, man, he always knew he was in a perpetual state of reincarnation. He was in a perpetual state of doing the same thing over and over again on a daily basis, working, sleeping, caught up in the slave loop. So this is what we do for ourselves when we wake up. We already source players before we even come down here in this physical reality. That's what I'm saying. We do, and then we have this light. We're the light that they talk of in the Gnostics teachings in the Bible, that they talk about in the Bible, that came down here. We the real light that came down here to be the real light in this false light. Because like I said on a few videos ago, demons dwell in false light. We on a false light grid. So you can say majority of the NPCs are the walking, talking dead, and they show us esoterically in all of these zombie movies. Do you think they coming out with this shit? Just it's just a coincidence, right? No, it's not a coincidence. They have to show you. They have to show you through entertainment, music. They have do news media. They have to show us the truth, because these are all universal laws and guidelines. Like down here in the physical reality, they got false, fictitious laws and guidelines like on YouTube, but the universe has guidelines that needs to be that needs to be upheld and followed. And that's what the architects of the system do. They know these universal laws better than what we know. As source players, as source guys, as supreme beings of mathematics, we are everything. So I'm saying it's the I am factor. I am a supreme being. I am conscious. I am a light being. That's what you tell yourself every day. I am. Somebody that's an NPC, somebody that's a high ranking demon, they don't have this I am hypothesis about themselves. This is it. High ranking. You have NPCs. NPCs can be a firefighter. They can be a cop. They can be anybody. Like Neo, like Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix. They're anybody but nobody. You're surrounded by them when you out and about. These are all sentient programs. But then you have high ranking demons. They become politicians. They become bankers. They become presidents. They become orthodox ministers. This is why you always see them facilitate all this horrendous shit. This is why you end up seeing them become a part of the human trafficking organization. This is why you see them propagating the juice, the hot sauce onto the masses. These are high-ranking demons. That's what I'm saying. But the high-ranking demons, they have these NPCs underneath them doing their bidding. NPCs do nothing but they do the bidding of their overlords. And then the high ranking demons, they have overlords as well. You can call them the draconians. Us source players, we don't have any authority over us because we are the authority that chose to come down here and to play in this game. This is nothing but a game here. This is literally a video game, a 3D reality video game. That's all this place is. That's what I'm saying. Us being source players, this is what we do. We come down here, we choose to wake up, we choose to be chosen. So I'm saying source players, 99% of the time, are black sheep. Grow up being black sheep. They don't fit in nowhere. You can't even go, you can't try to. Only source players recognize source players. Like we recognize each other on a spiritual level. This is why we in communication with each other on YouTube. This is why I was talking to somebody the other day on the phone. I think it's free to pay attention. I was talking to him, and he was saying that nobody gets him. Nobody. He has to get on the YouTube and find other people like himself because you are a supreme being. We are source players. This stuff's not meant for everybody. We surrounded. We think to ourselves, dang, why nobody understands what I'm trying to tell them? Why can't nobody see that all these celebrities are inverts? Why can't nobody see that all these politicians are reptoid, humanoid beings? Why can't nobody see that this place is just fake? It's all an illusion. Why can't nobody see what I see? That's because you are a source player. You a light being source player having a human experience. That's what you are. That's what you are. You can't deny what you are. So an NPC that only can function on a physical 3D level, they can't function. They don't have. They've been pre-programmed with this system, so they can't. They only can, like I said, they only can fulfill their matrix duties. That's it. This is why most of them hold key title positions here. This is why I can't. This is me myself per se. I've always been a black sheep. I've been a black sheep of my family all my life. I've been a black sheep in the society all my life. I've always been a loner. But me now, I know it's a deeper esoteric meaning on why I've been this way all my life because I'm a source player. I'm a real player down in this matrix. That's why being a real player here has its gifts and it has its curses. The curses is you're going to be alone majority of the time. The curses is nobody's going to understand you majority of the time. You might have family, friends, your significant other won't understand you. The blessing is you're gonna be anointed. You will be anointed, and you're gonna have your own direction, and you're gonna have that spiritual protection from the cosmos. You're gonna be you more you we you're more spiritually protected than the NPC. NPC doesn't have that spiritual, doesn't have that nod from the from the universe, that spiritual protection. They don't have that. So this is why they're more prone to be. This is why they're used as pawns on the chessboard by the shadow government. They do what they want to them. But somebody like us, no, we had that protection. They can't touch us. They'll try to attack us in certain ways. The way the system tries to get at a source player, they'll use somebody close to you that you love dearly against you. That's the system's way of trying to get at you because they can't attack you head on because you're a source god. But an NPC, they just collateral damage. What happens, you know. But yeah, I figured I get on here and touch base on the difference between NPCs and source players because there's a huge difference in these highlights and these terrors in this Cynthian Rand matrix. Everything here, these are walking computer algorithms. An NPC, a soulless entity, and an organic portal is nothing but a walking algorithm. That's all they are. That's what I'm saying. They only can do what they've been pre-programmed to do. They don't have a book of life. They don't have a scroll. They don't have they don't have these light codes embedded inside their DNA. They don't have a deeper esoteric meaning or a metaphysical outlook on nothing. Everything's on a physical scripted level. Everything is it's why you think when y'all talk to people, everything just sounds so fucking scripted. You'll never hear NPC talk like me. Ever. Everything and you can just tell what they're gonna say next. It's so obvious, it's so scripted. Because this is nothing but a movie role. Let's say it's the world stage because the world is literally a stage. NPCs are on the stage playing out roles. They have a pre-script already embedded in them. So they only gonna act out a script. When you walk into a store, doesn't it seem like everybody in the store waiting on you? When I go into certain settings, like in a store, if I'm not doing a window cleaning job, I feel like some of these NPCs are good people. Don't get it twisted. They are good people. Some of them are. Don't it seem like when you walk into a place, the energy just shifts? It seems like everybody just been there waiting on you before you even got in there, and they just waiting to play the script out. And then when you leave, they go back to being frozen. I'm being real. Yeah, that's how it is. And I could tell when I'm out in places too, the energy just changes. Like when you go into a room, that's what I'm saying. As a source player, you are that light that chose to come here, incarnate into a physical vessel. You gotta think, a source player, you chose your life, you chose your script, you chose your mom, you chose your dad, you chose what job you were going to work. You played a major part in your incarnation. A lot of us feel like oh man, why am I here? But we chose everything that happens to us in our life. We chose it, opposed to an NPC. They don't choose. They don't get to choose. It's just like turning on a video. I could turn on my video game right now and play as the main character in the video game of GTA. If I play my boxing game, I'm the main player in that GTA. I dress my avatar but the way I want it. I choose the storyline. So it's the same thing when you incarnate into a physical vessel here in this 3D reality. It's a video game. You choose everything that's going to happen to you in your life, whether it's good or bad, because your soul needs certain things to happen to you in order for it to wake up. You might need something tragic to happen to you, but you always got to know your higher self chose for these things to happen because you are the main player. You are a source player down here in this video game. NPCs don't have the privilege to choose this shit. Everything is chosen in them by the draconian overlords, by these demiurges. They have that chosen for them by the shadow government. Why you think they all go vote? I appreciate you, Tia Roberts. I'm dropping heat today. I appreciate y'all. What's up? What's up, everybody? Why do you think uh NPCs and helix, these terrorists, why you think they vote up by the million, they line up by the millions to be inoculated with that hot sauce? Why do you think they line up by the millions to go vote every 4 years? Because these are pawns of the shadow government. They don't have connection to their higher self. The government used them in this matrix to try to attack the real source players here. That's what I'm saying. Everything we do, we chose. It's being source players. That's what I'm saying. We don't fit in nowhere. That's what I'm saying. NPC is everybody but nobody. But a source player is everybody. Huh. You know, a million NPCs cannot garner the power of one source player. The source players that chose to incarnate into a physical body here, we the ones that keep this matrix going. We the main source of energy that these demiurges and that these draconian overlords, that these soulless entities try to attack. because we the main players in the game. It's just like Pac-Man. Pac-Man, when you play Pac-Man, all the ghosts in the game are trying to get at Pac-Man, trying to get his energy, right? Pac-Man has to go around the whole game, right? So you consider yourself being a main player, source guy, Pac-Man. You're just in the game, and you're trying to get as much knowledge and intellect and understanding as you can before you leave your physical vessel. That way you can beat the game. Once you beat the game, you can ascend. That's what this is about. You beat this game. You come down here to your physical body. You play out the script that you chose. You beat the game, and then you ascend. You go to the next level. The same thing if I play Super Mario, it's different stages in your life, right? So if you play Super Mario, you're on stage one. It's the easiest stage. So when you come into a physical body, you're a baby, right? Being a baby is the easiest stage of your life. You have different stages of your life. Like we said, the world stage, your life is a stage. Your life is a movie, right? Just like the video game, different stages. And the shadow government is the villain in the video game. You know, you could play Mario, Bowser. Bowser is the personification of the evil draconian shadow government, and you're playing as the main character, Super Mario. See what I'm saying? See how easy it is for me to connect these dots? That's what I'm saying. NPCs that don't have a deeper comprehension on anything. So real source player, we have a way esoterically deeper comprehension on every level. It's just up to you whether you're going to use your spiritual discernment, your superpower. Remember, I told you, if you're a source player and you're woke and you're consciously aware, that is a superpower. That is a spiritual superpower that you have that nobody else has. That you can use at will at any given time. You can be sitting back watching a movie and you can see all of the propaganda that the CIA is putting in these movies because they have to tell us the truth. But you could be in the movie theater, everybody else watching the movie for entertainment, but you that one source player that went to the movie theater at that time, you sitting back watching the movie, you see all these occult meanings, you see all these occult symbologies in this movie. You see the checker pattern floor. You see them throwing up occult hand symbols and signs. You see you can prophesize just by watching a movie. An NPC in a movie theater, they just looking at it getting for kikis and laughs. They don't have a deeper. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a deeper. They don't have a higher self. They just have a computer program to run off of. See what I'm saying? There's a big difference. You know. Well, I'm about to hop off here, y'all. I figured I'd get on here and break down the meaning between source players and NPCs. You know, hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'll drop a video every day. I'll get on here every day and I'll do a live. I can drop a video every day if I wanted to, you know, because this is what I like to do. I don't have I've went off script since I've awakened, since I came into consciousness, because I'm an entrepreneur for one, and I feel like this is what I chose before I came into my physical body. Anything I went through my life, I can't blame nobody else. I can't even blame this matrix because I chose this. I chose to be in this game. So me doing what I'm doing now, I chose to do this at this time in my life. Remember, I told you we have different stages in our life. So I told my higher self told me before I came into a physical form, hey, you're gonna wake up at this time. When you turn 32, 31, we're gonna wake up. We're gonna wake up. We're gonna have fun the first 20 something, 30 years. We're gonna choose to play this game. But when we get a certain age, we gotta get serious. We have to wake up. So that's what I'm saying. My higher self planned all this shit out for me before I came into this physical existence. Just like you plan everything out when you play before you play a video game. You change the settings, you do some kinks into your avatar. It's the same thing, right? So yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, with that being said, hope y'all enjoy this video. I'm in the wind. I'm out.